3 times, 4 times. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you, you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road, take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't cheat, screaming bumpy hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start, screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty roads. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing on Mercedes. These bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom while you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing gang things. Mono. Living super clean. That it came up. 1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop, I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you're lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Beers help me, shout let the silly go. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Doing cane things. Mono. Living super clean. That it came up. 1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing.
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue Magad. Now also available on the Saya TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass. Don't miss it, sisters and cousins.
Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Beers help me, shout let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living.
My bad. Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. I accidentally had the mute button still lit. My bad. Okay. All praise to the Most High. Thank y'all for being here with me this evening. I know you could be anywhere on the worldwide internet, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. If it's your first time hanging out with me, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Miss Mono. You can follow me all over these great content creation streets at Miss Mono's World, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Please feel free to like, share, follow, subscribe, however you connect on these random networks. Please feel free to do that. Shout out to my audience on Nasaya TV. If you do not already have the Nasaya TV app, please go ahead and download it. You can download it on your smart TVs, your Roku, your Fire Stick, your Apple TV. And if you cannot get to a computer, you can always go to Nasaya.tv. And I have to shout out the hardest working husband in Israel, Monologue the Dad, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. So today is a part 2. Of a discussion that I feel like I didn't really get to finish last week. So we're going to bring it here to this week. Okay. But first, a few things to go over. Okay. I don't know if you guys have heard this. This is just new. Like I just saw it when I was like logging on here. The whole Diddy and Cassie situation. So apparently Cassie is suing him for $30 million. Because allegedly she endured like years of physical abuse. There are claims of sex trafficking. He forced her to have sex with other men while he watched. There's an interview that resurfaced of Young Jock talking about how Diddy made Cassie cut her hair. Like, I don't know if y'all remember when she shaved it on the side, like he made her do that. Okay. So, but here's the thing. I know I'm probably aging myself here, but I'm proud to be 42. I remember when Mace left Bad Boy. I remember when Total left Bad Boy. And they came out. Mace, especially, like, according to him, it was so bad. That's what made him run to the church. His time at Bad Boy. And then you had Making a Band, right? And the stories that came out about him after that. So there's always kind of been like a overlying suspicion about Diddy and what goes on behind closed doors with him. I don't know if you all recall, but when Kim Porter died, everybody was like, no, he has something to do with that because she knew something about him. Well, come to find out, Cassie has been threatening him for the last 6 months, allegedly. Cassie has been threatening him for the last 6 months, saying if he didn't pay her $30 million, she was going to write a tell-all book and, just put it all out there. And I don't know, because like she moved on and I believe she's married with a child now. She's married with a kid and, supposedly living this new happy life. I'm like, okay, let me just say this, right? Like if one person says something about you, nah. 2 people, 3 or more people, now this warrants some kind of credibility. Now maybe we need to start looking into some things and seeing what's going on. But who's going to do that? Who's doing anything to Diddy right now? Like, and he's been getting away with it for so long. Allegedly. Okay, I have to keep saying allegedly. Allegedly, he's been getting away with it for so long. I don't know. So this just happened today. She just filed the lawsuit today. Leah, shalom and shalom, sis. 112 too. So it's like everybody that has had any kind of relationship with this man comes away with horror stories. horror stories. Oh, okay. See, I knew I wasn't the only one. I believe Cassie Diddy is super sus. He's been having nasty parties for decades. Usher, Tip, 50, Orlando Brown, and plenty more have told stories about Eddie. See, there's too many stories. It's too many stories. Like, who said it about Michael Jackson? They were like, listen, if people, and I'm not saying I believe what they said about Michael or not, but the fact of the matter is, like, if people keep saying the same thing about you over and over again, everybody's not lying. Everybody's not hating. Everybody's not just out to get you. Like, no, something is going on here. I believe we'll find out. This is a time of things being revealed and people being exposed. So, if anything's going on, I'm sure the lawsuit will bring it out. But I mean, like, sidebar kind of regardless, like, if she's a victim of abuse by this man, my heart definitely goes out to her. Like, it I don't want to tell y'all what it sounds like, but it sounds like I don't want to tell y'all what it sounds like. But anyway. But so, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Diddy. He's gonna have to get that figured out. Okay. So I know that y'all been keeping up with what's going on in the world with particularly not so much with the war in Israel, but just with the reaction with everything that's going on here in the States, and especially with all the allegations of anti-Semitism that is supposedly occurring on university campuses. And I just want to say that has nothing to do with us, please. Like, I tell my daughter, she goes to, a major university here in Georgia, and I tell her, like, mind your business. That has nothing to do with us. The Bible tells us to live peaceably with all men as long as we possibly can. So that is our goal, baby. You just keep on going and make it home. So same to y'all. Just keep on going and make it home. That is the goal at this point. Okay. So I have a little story for y'all. Maybe it's more like a question. Okay. Picture this. Imagine, if you will, but picture it. America, 2023, right? You, since my audience is usually mostly women, I'm going to address this, from the woman's standpoint. Okay. So imagine you marry this guy, right? America, 2023. All right. You just got married, right? And you're married, and you know that this is his second or third marriage, whatever the case may be. He already has children, right? The man already has children. You marry him, y'all have kids, and everything is going on. You have a new baby now. All of a sudden there's a new baby now. The baby is born, and your husband gives the baby his name. Kind of. Because see, here's the kicker. The husband already has a child with his name, right? There's already a junior. So we're going to call him so-and-so. So-and-so junior, so-and-so senior, and so-and-so junior already exist, okay? You, the second or third wife, have another baby, and husband decides that he wants to name the baby so-and-so junior, but with a different middle name, right? So and what junior instead of just so-and-so junior, right? And so it's like, oh, that might be cute, right? Like two so-and-so juniors or whatever, except that your husband turns around and changes his name to match the new baby's name. So now your husband's name is not so-and-so senior, it's so and what so senior. And now there's a so and what so junior. But the first junior, the original so-and-so junior, is just completely out the picture now. So if you're wondering, like, well, what kind of man would do that? Like, who would do something like that? Why would you just hurt your child like that? The answer is Brian McKnight, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Brian McKnight. The one who sung us all those love songs in the 90s and had us feeling like we just, we're picking the ramen and all this other kind of crazy stuff. Listen, this man had a baby with his new wife, right? Now, he already had a Brian McKnight Jr. This new baby's name is Brian something something McKnight Jr. And he has changed his name to Brian something something McKnight Sr. Totally disenfranchising, I guess we could say, the original Brian McKnight Jr. And I that's crazy. Timeless Premi. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. And me I would have a problem with that. I would have a problem with that. I'm gonna tell you what the main problem is. If you can treat one of your children like that, okay, Prime, I'm sorry. See, it's the letters. I got to get my reading skills up. My bad. The problem is if you can treat one of your children like that, what would you do to my child? Like if you're totally willing, say we don't work out, okay? And you go on, because as we know, men can go on having babies until they die. So say we don't work out and you go and have a baby with somebody else. You gonna disenfranchise my baby too? Like you gonna change your name again? Bump my baby? And this is the thing that I think that we don't understand when we're in relationships. A lot of times, especially when we're a little less mature, a lot of times we feel like anytime he diss his baby mama or anytime he diss his ex, that's supposed to be making us feel more secure. Oh, he can't stand her. He always talking about her and blah, 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 blah. And so it's one thing if she was just raggedy and he's talking to you about it. Okay, that's cool. But how is he still treating his children? And when it comes down to it, how is he still treating her in relation to the children? Okay, I'm not talking about no funny business, no hanky panky or nothing like that. But if she calls and she's like, listen, this is what's going on with the kids, blah, blah, blah. Is he responsive? Or is he just like, oh, well, whatever? Okay. It's two adults leaving each other is one thing. But when you're talking about a parent like separating themselves from their child, and especially to this extent, like you just gonna change your name totally, like this man was never your junior. Brew news, Sister Dr. Shalom and Shalom. Thank you for joining me, sis. So you just gonna change your name like this child was never your junior, like his place in your life never existed. And so Brian McKnight Jr. said he can't change his name because his son is named Brian McKnight, I'm assuming the third. So he's like, well, I'm not gonna change my name. My name is what it is. And so ladies, just let this be a lesson to y'all. When you are judging a man, judge him by how he treats others. Judge him by how he treats people who can do nothing for him. See, this is the thing. We get so caught up. Oh, he's so nice to me. He's so this and he's so that. Yes, because he wants something from you, sis. He wants something from you. So, of course, he's going to be nice to you. He's going to put it on. You're going to get the representative, the customer service specialist. That's who you're going to get. Okay, but notice how he treats the people around him who he doesn't want anything from. Or more importantly, the people who depend on him. How is he treating the people who depend on him? How does he treat his children? Is he responsive to their needs? Because I don't like the term honeymoon phase. Because I feel like as long as y'all keep it alive, it's always gonna be sparks as long as, it takes two. So as long as y'all both sparking, there's gonna be fire. Okay. So I don't like the term honeymoon phase. But when the novelty of the relationship wears off, that's usually when you see how the person is for real. And so well, maybe not unfortunately, but usually, no, unfortunately, by that point, the woman is all in, 100% in. Y'all done had sex already. You done been digmatized and you done decided that you in love with him and can't nobody tell you nothing and all this other stuff. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is look around. Don't just look at how he's treating you. Look at how he treats others, okay? Especially kids. Again, if you're not, here's the thing, if you're not the first one to have his children, look at how he treats those other kids, because that's how he's going to treat yours, period. Like, share, subscribe. Please turn on your notifications. Feel free to jump in the discussion here. Hop on in the chat. All right. So I wanted to share a TikTok video with y'all. I'm gonna put it up so we can watch it. Let's see, where is it? Hold on. I think this is it. Oh yes, this is my tab. Okay. Yahweh Shalom and Shalom. Thank you for joining me. All right, we're gonna watch this video and then
stop being so available. Stop being so predictable. You're boring. Women need to be what I like.
I don't know.
My bad, y'all. These controls so sensitive.
Stop being so available. Stop being so predictable. You're boring. Women need to be what I like to call my version of positive toxic, and I'll give you some examples. Let's just say you and him have a regular routine, and on your way to work every morning, you give him a call, y'all talk on the phone. At least one of those days out the week, don't call. Tell him, hey, babe, they got ahead of me. It was a crazy morning. I was rushing out the house. I totally forgot to call you. Then you're going to cancel one of the date nights. Cancel the date. If y'all was supposed to hang out, maybe I was going to go to dinner, you're going to cancel it. You're going to tell him, hey, babe, I know we were supposed to hang out on Wednesday, but I have a work project that I have to hop on. Do you think we can do this another time? Checkmate, okay? Then when he says, babe, do you want to hang out on Thursday? Maybe we can do dinner or something. You're going to be like, I would love to hang out with you, but I promised my coworker that we were going to do happy hour. Men love women that are unavailable. You got to put a little sauce on it. Keep his mind wondering. You got to keep him intrigued. This is how he's going to stay interested. This is how he's going to be all over you, okay? This is also going to program him that being with you is not going to feel like he's in jail. This is going to show him that you know how to prioritize things other than him, okay? Men hate feeling like that they're in jail. So this is going to show him that you have friends, you have other things to do, and this is going to keep him on his toes. And at this point, we really need a secret community, y'all, because I can't keep telling all y'all this stuff on the internet while the men are listening.
Okay. First of all, let me just so much wrong with that video. So much wrong. Let me just say that nothing that she said is new. Like, and this is what I keep saying, like, there's nothing new under the sun. All this game playing and manipulation, it's nothing new. A positive, toxic, whatever she's trying to call it. Hold on, let me read this down. I don't agree with her as a man. As a woman, I don't agree with her, okay? She sounds retarded. She does. She absolutely does. And so here's the thing. That kind of advice only, first of all, that kind of advice will have you old and lonely, because no good man who's seeking a stable life wants a woman who's not dependable. You understand what I'm saying? We talk every day on the phone, and all of a sudden now you're too busy to talk to me. Unless he's just on that type of game, in which case he's not looking for a stable relationship anyway. And remember, we're only supposed to be dating for marriage. If he's not looking for a stable relationship, then yes, he'll play the game with you. Yes, we can do it all day. The phone tag, yes, it can be fun. Okay. It can be. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say, oh, I've never done anything like that. No, yes, it can be fun. It's funny. Ha ha ha. But what you have to realize is certain men are not gonna put up with that. They're not gonna put up with that. You keep missing phone calls, and all of a sudden you can't be busy and watch your phone stop ringing. The kind of men who will not put up with that are the kind of men that are looking for marriage. Okay. We so often throw out that word bored, without really stopping to think, like, what are we really looking for? Why am I saying that I'm bored? This image of dating that we've been given by the world, the perception of dating multiple people, a different day every night, doing what you want and all this other stuff, that is a perverted, it's a perverted view of relationships. It leads to whoredom. It leads to broken homes. It leads to single moms. It leads to abortions. Um, it leads to bitter, broken hearts. I mean, look at where this advice has gotten us now. Like, I don't know. I wonder where her man is. She ain't got one. Probably not. See, okay, I grew up spending summers in Jersey. Like, some of my teenage years in the summers, I was spending in Jersey, and I had an older cousin, right? And my older cousin, she was about this life. That was her life. She was about the life. She would play the game, run the streets, whatever. She was one of the guys, okay? So I've seen it done. Like, I've seen it from I've witnessed it from the woman committing the act. I've been the woman committing the act. You know what I'm saying? Um, so what I'm trying to convey is no decent woman is going to carry herself like that. No decent woman is going to carry herself like that. And now there's a difference between you really are just busy, like you really do have a full life, you're working full time, you're in school, you're taking care of kids, you're involved in social organizations, you're involved in your community. That's something different, okay? And then in that case, now we're not talking about somebody who's just not willing to work with your schedule. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about here is purposely going out of your way to try to create some illusion of scarcity, like you're just too hard to get. You keep playing too hard to get, and then you won't be got. But these are the same kind of women that will sit on in about 5 years. I give her 2 to 5 years. She gonna be sitting on the same internet with that same, and I say it's a stupid laugh because I notice a lot of the modern Black women on TikTok, that's how they talk. Like, they adopt this cadence, and then it's always like a snicker, like they said something clever or something. Really irritating. But she gonna be on TikTok with that same stupid laugh, talking about how men are no good and she can't find anybody to meet her standards and all this other craziness. Okay. And then what got me was at the end when she was saying no man wants to feel like he's in jail. If he want to be with you, he not gonna feel like he in jail. And so this is what I'm saying. If he feels like he's in jail, it's you, not it's you. You not being there, you being there. It's you. He don't want to be with you. And that's just, if you got to play all those games with a man to keep him interested, he does not really like you. And you just have to accept that. A man that wants you will leave no doubt in your mind. A man that is really pursuing you won't leave time for anybody else. He call you to make a date and you say you busy, he's going to try to figure out the next available time that he can meet with you, or if he can bring you a snack, a lunch, can he Instacart, Uber you? Can he do anything for you? I just want to know that I'm on your mind, and I want you to know that you're on my mind. That's going to be his mindset, and then his actions are going to follow that. Truth be told, Flex Podcast, Shalom and Shalom. You're not going to have to wonder. But see, here's the thing. Like, a lot of y'all like to hang on to men for entertainment purposes. What do I mean by entertainment purposes? A free meal? Or when the one that you like ain't available? What you mean? No, because it's somebody. See, hold on. Let me read this comment. I drove over 40 miles to see my girl when we were dating. Okay. If he wants you, he's going to make it happen. But see, here's the problem, right? You'll run this game, this tired, weak game. You'll run this tired, weak game on the men that you need, but you don't want. Okay? Because the one that you want, you don't take him through that. The one that you want, as soon as he called, you picking up the phone, you answering them text messages. Yeah, you might make him wait 15 minutes before you answer it, but that's about it. You're going to be available for dates. You're going to put as much effort into it as he is. Okay? But be serious. And I like this it's a dead end street. It's a dead end street, and there's nothing out there that you're missing that's so great. And that's the allure of the world we live in, right? Our image driven society, how we're driven to consume, to purchase, to buy. It's because we always are made to feel like there's something else out there. Like, ooh, if I had this one thing, my life would be better. If I had this car, then I could get the girls I want. If I had this body, if I went and got this BBL, then I could get the men that I want. If I could afford it, it's always going to be something else. If you're always constantly looking outward instead of looking inward and appreciating what you have, you're going to constantly be bored. But the fact of the matter is, if you turned around and looked around where you live, where you are right now, there's plenty of work for you to do. Plenty of work. Be it cleaning, be it cooking, try out a new recipe, pick up a new hobby. There's so much in life that we neglect because we are programmed to focus on what's going on outside of our homes instead of focusing on what's going on inside of our homes. Okay. A man that is trying to build a stable home, build an empire, as y'all like to say, he does not have time to be chasing you hither, thither, and yonder and figuring out what's going on and what you doing. I saw a TikTok video a while ago where a girl was saying that men tend to choose plain Janes. They tend to choose the women who, don't have a lot going on for themselves. They always at home. They're boring. She not boring. She there. She's there. And that's the thing. You think, so let's get into it because this is going to spill over into the main topic. So let's just get into it. I didn't mean for it to, but it's going there. So let's go. Here's the thing. And this is why I call it You're Not That Special, Sweetheart. Because what about you is so wonderful that you feel like you can treat people any kind of way and they're just supposed to grovel at your feet? Why do you feel like what you hold in between your legs is just so precious and so valuable and so different that this man is just going to surrender his life to you for 15 minutes of pleasure? We get so caught up in what's the word that I'm looking for? But when you puff up something, when you we get so caught up in the feminism movement and this whole equality movement. Like, I really feel like as women, it gasses us up to make us think that we're more than we are. Okay. And I know nobody likes to have that conversation because, no, we're women and we're strong and we do this and we do that and we make the world go around, especially Black women. Okay. We love to talk about how we're the mothers of the earth and we can produce any race and da 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 da. Great, fine. And that's all wonderful. But the reality of the matter is that your value as a woman, I know somebody's going to be offended, but oh well. Your value as a woman is really determined by the people around you. I do not matter outside of my home. And I have no problem saying that. If I walked out in the street today and announced my presence, no one would stop and stare. No one would do any of that because who the heck are you, lady? Okay. However, when I come into my house and announce that I'm here, it's hugs, it's kisses, it's, oh, I'm glad to see you. I had to realize this as well. You're not going to get the attention that you want from the world. You're not. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, if it is love that you are looking for, you are not going to find that putting yourself on display for the world. You're not going to find the love that you are looking for playing all these games, failing to communicate and basically behaving in a juvenile manner. You know how they used to tell us, oh, if a boy pull your hair, he likes you. If he chases you around the playground, he likes you. Like that's the kind of stupid logic that a lot of y'all women are applying to dating now. Like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to him to make him like me more. No, I'm sorry. Absence makes my heart wander. Like I've never been that type. You don't answer the phone, okay? I know someone who will. Like, I don't understand why this is seen as a valid relationship method. Okay. Now listen, if you're dating a guy and you're starting to feel taken for granted, that's the time to talk about it. That's not the time to start playing all these games and acting crazy. And look, if y'all just met and maybe you went out on a date or whatever and you feel like he's not giving you the attention that you want, then maybe that just means he doesn't like you. There's this movie from the 90s called He's Just Not That Into You. I think we need to bring that movie back. No, seriously, because you need to realize the signs of he just don't like me. And then you also need to realize there's nothing you can do to make him like you. Okay. But look, I wanted to show this. This is the video I wanted to show before I went into my main topic because just watch this video. Okay. Fair use. This is not my material. And I'm just showing it for educational purposes. Okay. So I want y'all to watch this. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Phaedra Parks from Real Housewives of Atlanta. But this was her first season on.
So you're really like more like 6 months?
I don't know what I do.
6 months?
I know they're gonna do it at 34 weeks. So 34 weeks is when he's gonna come.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me explain because the video kind of started. Let me explain. Okay. So Phaedra comes from a church family. Her mom's a pastor, dad was a pastor, grandparents was a pastor, all the stuff. And when she first came on television, she introduced herself as this prim and proper Southern belle, right? So here she is, big, pregnant, telling people that the doctor was going to deliver her baby at 7 months instead of the whole 9-10 months or whatever. The doctor was going to deliver her baby at 34 weeks because in her family they don't have children out of wedlock. But I'm gonna let y'all watch how she lied to these people and we'll talk about it.
So you're really like more like 6 months?
I don't know what I do.
6 months?
I know they're gonna do it at 34 weeks. So 34 weeks is when he's gonna come.
Oh, okay.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
She's good. She's 40 weeks.
That's what I was telling her. She's talking about, oh, I'm gonna go 2 months early.
You are term.
Okay, so here's the thing. Apparently, she was pregnant before she got married. Duh. Okay. Hold on. But she lied. Sorry about it. Okay. But she's lying to the world, to her mother on national television now, sitting up here lying. And so here's what gets me. And it ties all into it because now it's one thing for me to lie to my group of friends. Like it's one thing for me to lie to my mom and dad about, the wedding date and da 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 da. It's a whole other thing for me to think that I'm going to be on national television lying to everyone and nobody gonna call me out on it. Nobody gonna see me about it. I'm just gonna get away with this lie. And everybody else around me is crazy. And we do this a lot in our lives, okay? And whether it's faking a pregnancy or just faking the funk about who you are, faking what you believe in, faking how you act, we do this a lot. We'll put on a facade in the beginning of a thing, in the beginning of a relationship, at the beginning of a new job, we're starting school again, whatever this is. Whenever we have a chance to reintroduce ourselves, we put on this facade of who we want people to think that we are, instead of being honest and allowing them to come to the conclusion of who we really are, showing them, this is who I really am. And and so I get that it can be hard to succeed by the right means, okay? I get that it can be hard to do things the right way. I totally understand that. But what I think we need to understand even more is all we do by thinking that for some reason we are going to outskirt the rules is make our journey even longer. Like I was saying last week, you okay, say you set your GPS to Six Flags. You want to go to Six Flags. So from my house to Six Flags is about like 30 minutes, right? But if I'm on my way to Six Flags and I decide, oh, I'm hungry, let me stop at this Wendy's right here. Okay, now my 30-minute trip has turned into an hour. Okay. And so, yes, I purposely stopped at Wendy's. But what we have to realize on the journey in life is a lot of our stops are not, a lot of our stops did not produce the action we intended it to produce. What do I mean by that? A lot of times we get caught up with the wrong people. Okay. And I'm not even just talking dating. I'm talking about friends, like other sisters that you may associate with. And listen, just because sis is in the truth, or she wear her fringes or she wear her head wrap, that don't mean that she's automatically legit. Like, I think what we have to understand is, yes, we're called to be sisters, but that doesn't mean that everybody gets to be your best friend, right? And I know it can get lonely in this walk. I know. Um, but it's just a reality that we need to face so that we can start making better decisions. Better decisions about what we're doing, okay? The reason I said you're not that special is because for some reason I've noticed that we have a problem with questions amongst groups of Black women. Okay? Like if there's a decision that's made. All right, no, I'll tell y'all what happened. I was in a group, in a Facebook group. And there was a post put up, and a man was talking about his wife serving him dinner on a tray and how she always served him dinners on a tray and stuff. And then he said he said something like, a lot of modern educated women want to be independent, but my wife is different. And the women were up in arms. They were like insulted about it. Like, why does he have to do this? Da 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 da. Wait a minute. Sir. Jacob, wake up. No, we are not. No disrespect, but Eve are the worst drivers on the road. No, we are not, sir. I'm sorry if you had a horrible experience. That's not true. Oh my gosh, you made me forget what I was saying. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, thank you, honey. So yeah, he made the post about his wife, and he was like, most modern educated women want to be independent, but I married somebody different, da da da. And so the women in the group are like, oh, why does he have to put people down and whatever. So I'm like, what? when did he put somebody down? Like, I didn't see what was supposed to be so bad about this post. But it's like, so I got so much smoke just for asking the question, what are y'all upset about? And here's what got me. Instead, it was like 4 or 5 women commented before one actually took the time to explain why she felt the way she felt about the post. And before the intelligent response, the answers were all these cliches that I'm just so freaking tired of hearing. Like, girl, bye. You just ashy and you just want to be a pick me. And the fact that you don't understand is the problem. And so why do questions bother us so much? What was so triggering about my question that you couldn't just answer it? Why get defensive because I don't understand why you're upset? Okay? And here's the thing. Like, if you're ever in a group of women, all right, if you're ever in a group of anybody, I don't care if it's men, women, period. If you're dating, you're out with your friends, whatever, and they have a problem with you asking questions, run away, run far away, and do not look back. Okay? Anybody that has a problem with you asking questions only intends to manipulate and abuse you. I'm sorry. Like, there's no other explanation for that. You should never stay in that situation. And so, but unfortunately, right? And this is why you're not that special, because unfortunately, a lot of us will keep going, even with questions, right? The whole ride or die chick. Hold on, buddy. I got some questions. Why do I like? And so we will have our questions, but the fear of being ridiculed, the fear of being bullied, the fear of being alone makes us hold our questions in. It makes us hold in the thing that we're uncomfortable with. And a lot of time, that little voice in your head that keeps going off every time you're around that person, that little anxiety that you get whenever you think about being with this person, that tension that builds up whenever you know that you have to deal with that person, that's usually a sign from God telling you to get away from him or her or them. Stop it. Just because you didn't feel bad about it in the first place, I'm sorry, just because you didn't feel good about it in the first place does not free you from the consequences of said action, okay? Like, you get in a car with your homies and y'all supposed to be riding to Fridays to have some drinks or whatever, but let's stop at this bank and rob it, okay? You can't stay in the car during the robbery, drive to Friday. Like, you cannot stay there, commit the act, and then be like, I didn't feel right about it. I had questions. No, you're an accomplice, whether you had questions or not. And this is the problem. We're so scared to speak up that a lot of times we end up paying for consequences that maybe we didn't like necessarily request, pay for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't wholeheartedly in the action, okay? Like, you wasn't there to rob the bank. I didn't know these people was going to stop and do this, but here I am. So you're not wholeheartedly there, okay? But when they pull you up on camera and you standing next to your co-defendants, you're going to face those consequences like one who was wholeheartedly there. All right? Y'all seen, oh my gosh, it was a movie we were watching or something. There was a movie we were watching. And but they do this in a lot of movies or whatever. People were dying, but the person that was doing the killing wouldn't tell like this certain person everything. And they were like, "'Cause I don't want you to be responsible for this information, so I'm not going to tell you." Okay? So even with that though, like, something is going on. So you can't act like, "Oh, well, I had no idea." No, you knew he was chopping the bodies up and burying them in the backyard. You just chose not to say anything. We are taught from a young age not to ask questions. Yes. So thank you for bringing that up. Because I feel like this is one of the negative points of growing up in Black church, because even as a young child, when you start asking questions, what are you told? You don't question the pastor. That's what God said. You don't question the pastor. Even as an adult, when I've tried to have conversations about the Bible, like with my mother or other women who are still in church, oh, it's some things are just based on faith. Some things are just this, something with no real answer, and upset that you are asking questions. Okay. And believe it or not, I really feel like that carries on into other parts of our life. Okay. Think about it. When you go to school, you're just supposed to do what the teacher says. If you ask any questions, all of a sudden you're insubordinate, rebellious, you're getting written up, sent to ISS, whatever. Okay. So yes, we are trained not to ask questions. However, no one tells us when to break that socially. You understand what I'm saying? And this comes from a lot of our history as slaves in this country. I mean, let's be real, okay? We are American descendants of slaves, literally. All right, we come from people who were beat and killed for asking questions. All right, so I'm not saying that we can't find a reason for this. Sure, we can find a reason for this, but the fact of the matter is we need to figure out how to stop it, because there are people in jail and there are people dying behind this very thing of not asking questions. To bring up my husband's point, we teach our sons to question everything. And I don't ever tell my sons because I said so. I try very hard to not ever say that, because I don't ever want them to think that that's an answer. Okay? And I know people don't like to hear this because, oh, that's my child and they're going to stay in their place. Yes, it's your child for a little while, but eventually that child is going to grow up and they're going to have to go out here and deal with other people their age. And the way that you relate to them, even as a parent, is going to determine how they relate to other people. Case in point, my mom was a yeller. Okay. She was a yell. That's just how she was. That she yelled about everything. So when I grow up, my natural pattern of what I saw was to yell about everything. It wasn't until my husband came along and showed me, like, hey, you know, that's not normal, right? I didn't know this wasn't normal, because my mama yell, her sisters yell, like they just yell. And my mom and my aunts yell. I figured that this is what everybody did. No, it's not. Even now, as an adult, I get nervous when I have to ask my husband questions. Nothing he did. He didn't do anything. It's just in me, like, to be scared to ask questions. Okay? So I try very hard to totally do the opposite with my sons. Now, I'm not saying that I just sit there and answer 50 questions in a row. No, like, we're very real with them. I'll tell them, like, okay, that's enough. Like, we get it. Okay. But if they ask, I give them an answer. Even if I tell them to do something, and especially my 8-year-old, he'll be the first one to be like, well, why? This doesn't make sense to me. And I never say, oh, because I told you to, or because that's what I said do, or you should be seen and not heard. No, I tell him because X, Y, and Z, and I need da 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 da. When I'm explaining to my children, even my older children, it doesn't stop at the 5 and the 8-year-old. Even with my older children, I will explain to them, like, listen, y'all, when y'all are cleaning up the kitchen, I need you to put the dishes where I asked you to put them, because I work in this kitchen and I need to know where things are. And when you don't put things when you don't put things where I expect them to be, now you're making my day take longer and you're making tasks harder for me. Okay. Whereas when I was a kid, if I didn't put the dishes up the way they were supposed to put up, my mom would pull all the dishes out of the counters and out of the cabinets, all of them, and make me get up in the middle of the night. She was the queen of waking somebody up in the middle of the night, okay? Wake me up in the middle of the night to go put all them dishes back where they belong. All right? And her thing was, well, I told you 3 or 4 times. Maybe I needed an explanation. You understand what I'm saying? And so, but here's the thing. I feel like that kind of communication with your kids teaches them to accept abuse later on. You haven't shown them anything different. What are they supposed to think? You're the person who says that you love me. You're my first relationship. This is my first relationship. You're all I know of people. And if this is how you treat me, when someone else out there treats me similar, why would I think that there's anything wrong with that? And see, we do this to our kids, but when they end up in abusive relationships, we want to blame them. Oh, well, she's stupid. She should have known better. I actually went through an issue like that. And when I asked a person in my family, like, well, you just, you didn't say nothing, you just let it happen, blah, blah, blah. Well, you decided to stay there. Really? Really? We have got to stop thinking that we can outskirt the rules. We can not care. We can just do whatever we want to do. And somehow we're going to get these positive results. That's not going to work. I came from the name it and claim it era in church. This is when prosperity gospel was hitting off. And like, I remember they had us getting up and like yelling in the middle of the church for money come to me and riches coming. Like, they had us saying this stuff, right? But the thing of the matter is, faith without works is dead. So I can say and name and claim and everything else, but if you're not showing me how to actively increase my income, then what good is me yelling in the sky gonna do? Okay? And so I feel like that's the same attitude that we as women have been taught to have about the people in our life. Like, we're just so wonderful. They're going to line up to what we say. Like, we love to tell women to, speak life into your children, speak life into your children. But what are you saying after that? You just finished beating a child upside the head and calling them all kind of retarded dummies and everything else like that. But then you want to come home from church and tell him he going to be a strong man of God. Make up your mind. Which one is he going to be? Because what you can't do is decide that he going to be trash when you're mad at him. But then after you done left church and shouted it out and sang it out and everything, now everything's supposed to be all good. That's not, that's just, it's beyond not reasonable. Like, I can't think of a word for it, but it's ridiculous. But so as women, we don't, it's not that women don't have any leadership. Okay. It's not that we're not called to lead. We're just not called to lead men. All right. Women are supposed to teach children and other women. Okay. But if all we keep doing is regurgitating the same garbage that we've gotten from the women before us, and I'm not saying it's about all women, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just speaking in general, looking at the condition of Black people in the Black family and the Black woman today. Clearly, the things that we have been holding on to have not been those things which are going to edify and benefit us. Are you coming to join me? Oh, okay. Clearly those things that we have brought along are not for our edification. They're not for our benefit. They're not for the benefit of our families. All right. And instead of us realizing this, and instead of us capitalizing on our strengths to break the cycles of abuse, the cycles of depression, the cycles of, I'm gonna call it oppression, that we have experienced, instead of us deciding to break that, we decide that it's easier for me to hide behind this title of Black woman, mother, wife, goddess, whatever y'all calling these yourselves these days. Thank you, Shalom. Shalom. Thank you, Truth Be Told Flex Podcast. It's easy. We've decided that it's easier for us to hide behind the titles instead of shedding that veil and coming out and doing the real work. Okay. And so that's why I had to title this "You're Not That Special," because you're not going to not do the work, but expect to break these generational curses and start a new cycle in your family. Like even with stuff that's going on today, right? And I hear this a lot, man. And I told y'all, I just got called a pick me the other day. Oh, my feelings so hurt. Even in deciding that being obedient, being submissive, focusing on home and children, and deciding that that is oppressive, right? We refuse to, it's like, and I be wanting to say this, I just don't want to be the bad guy, but it's hard to have conversations with women. It's hard to have conversations with women. It's hard to have conversations with women who will not accept accountability. Okay. So like if a woman says to me, "Oh, being a housewife, that's oppressive. I can never," what's oppressive about it? Could you tell me like what you find oppressive about being at home with my children and my family all day? And it's not to say that, oh, I just have it so easy and I'm just pooping rainbows and spitting out butterflies. No, I cook and I clean, but I would have to cook and clean anyway. I saw my husband posted something a couple of days ago, talking about how, he provides for me and I really don't have a lot to do. I don't. I take care of my kids in my house. And someone responded, right? But the response was so freaking long. It's like, look, if you're not up for the task, you're just not up for the task. And that's kind of what I want to say to some of these women. Because if you're not up for it, then you're just not up for it. It takes a certain kind of woman to be able to put herself aside and say, no, I need to focus on my family and my children right now. It takes a certain woman to be able to push her strength down. Okay. We have to temper our strength. And this is what I keep saying. Yes, we as women, we do have power. That's why we're called to submit. If we didn't have anything to submit, then it would be nothing. We would be like children. And a newborn, a young child, they have nothing to submit. They're totally dependent. Okay. My kids can't go out here and do nothing. My kids can't turn to me and be like, "Oh, I'm leaving." Where are you going? Where are you? You're not going anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? As a grown woman, however, ideally, like you have that ability. Like before you got with your partner, you were sustaining a life. You had a life on your own, unless you were just one of those women who are blessed to leave from your dads to your husbands. If that's not your story, though, you had a life on your own. You were sustaining on your own. You were making your own decisions. You were handling your own finances, right? So the part of becoming a union is where you say, okay, yes, I know I can make my decisions for myself, but because I want to be a part of something bigger than myself, I'm going to submit my voting power to what we got going on here at home. Okay, hold on. I got a question. Yeah, come on. Yes, come on. Sis, your bro got a question. Did modern technology interfere or destroy men's and women's interactions with each other? Did the mobile phone kill us? Be honest. I'm not gonna say it destroyed our interactions. If anything, it was meant to be a help. I feel like technology, like anything else, really depends on how you use it. Me and my husband, at the end of the day, like when we get into bed, he spends time on the phone and so do I. But we, you know what I'm saying? We're there together. We just happen to be on our phones, scrolling our phones. It's all about what you're doing with the phone. You could be on your phone playing Candy Crush, or you could be on OnlyFans. It is up to you. It's up to you and how you use it. You have to think about the good that has been done with technology. Since somebody said a long time ago, like, imagine if Paul and the apostles had cell phones and airplanes and the internet. Imagine how much more rapidly they could have spread the gospel, right? And think of the people, just even me on this show, reaching people that I would have never probably, ran into in real life. Like, no, technology has its good and its bad. It's really just about how you decide to use it.
I think another point of shalom, everybody.
Ladies
Shalom.
and gentlemen.
But we said like destroy the women's and men's interaction with each other and kill us. I think no, I really think that just happened. Just what do you call it? Everything that we've been fed, man, from the music videos to the teachings of these crazy women and all this stuff and the men. And now I think it was gonna happen anyway. Social media might have helped it spread a little faster.
Definitely, yeah.
But we've been doomed for a while, my wife. I feel.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And even if you like think back to like before the internet and stuff, like how music was trash, you had Trina and all these women trying to be what the men were. So, it was headed way before that. But like hubby said, I mean, it definitely helped it, but it would have helped. It helps positive messages too. So did you have anything? Okay. So back to what I was saying. Huh? Oh, right. Okay. Commercial break. Like, share, subscribe.
Y'all subscribe to the channel. Everybody
notifications.
that's watching now, please go and like the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel.
If you like something I said or you like what we got going on here at the House of Mono, please feel free to head over to the Cash App, $, the House of Mono. Thank you in advance. And thank you to all of you who have given in the past. Okay. So now back to y'all not being that special. And I really just mean it like the topic sentence. I really mean to say you cannot do what you want to do and get the results that you want to have. Okay. You cannot. Let's take our example of how we started with Phaedra, right? Why try to present yourself as something you're not? Okay. And I'm not talking about people who have changed or turned over a new leaf, or you found the Lord and now you live in different. I'm not talking about that. But in that vein, your objective should always be to be honest, even painstakingly honest. As you can see right now.
Sorry.
You're echoing back.
Don't put me in there.
I'm not. I'm gonna close it.
No, keep it right there.
As you can see right now with your boy Diddy, things are coming out. Like what you do in the dark does come out in the light. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like even with this Kiki Palmer situation, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with that, but at first they played the whole little Usher thing on us. And then they were like, oh, it's just a publicity stunt. Like they came out and said this, she's doing all these interviews, whatever. And now allegedly there is abuse involved, right? But then I just read this morning that she was selected to host the 2023 Soul Train Awards. And so I'm just at the point where I'm really I don't want to say disenchanted, but it's like I don't believe anything these people are saying anymore. I don't know if y'all seen that interview with Yvonne Orji, but she played Molly in Insecure. Really funny. But she supposedly is a 40-year-old virgin. Like, she did this whole interview about how she's 39, whatever, and she's still a virgin. She hasn't, found the right man, whatever. And instead of anybody asking her, well, baby, why has it taken you 40 years to find the right man? Everybody's just like, oh, that's right. You go, girl. That's so beautiful. And I'm here to tell you that, no, that's not beautiful. That sounds a little crazy to me. I'm going to just be honest. What have you been doing for 40 years of your life? And just because you haven't found the right man to touch you, does that mean you're into women? I ask questions. I don't have a problem asking questions. Like this whole Will Smith situation about his friend insinuated that he had an affair with Dwayne Martin, which, by the way, is not a new rumor. Okay, this is not a new rumor. And Jada come out talking about they gonna sue, and everybody like, oh yeah, y'all should sue. My question is, why are you gonna sue? Because you had an NDA? Like, no, I have questions. I don't believe anything these people say. Listen, the only people that can tell me something and I'm gonna totally accept it, my husband. I shouldn't have even said people. I should have just said person. My husband. He's the only one that's going to come to me right now and tell me something, and I'm going to possibly be like, oh, okay, but guess what? If I have questions, I'm going to ask questions too.
Don't y'all believe that? She going to question me anyway.
No, it's not. It's not about questioning your authority. But
No,
if I have
say
a
that.
question.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to ask. Right. So you're not that special. And see, this reminds me of something that the elders used to do, the elder church mothers would do. After they had lived their life and wallowed in their sin, and they come into church and get saved and put on them white doilies and them long white skirts, all of a sudden they were above reproach and had never done any wrong. No, mother, sis, tell the truth. Tell the women the truth. And this is what cut a lot of young people off. I remember, especially when we were growing up in the church, this is what cut a lot of people off from church. Because it's like, well, everybody's there, everybody's so perfect and da-da-da-da-da. No, like you're not. I don't know why you feel like you can fool all the people all the time. There's a saying, you can fool some of the people some of the time. Like some people might buy your mess, but there's people out here with discernment that can see through what you're doing. Okay. And so when you get to playing these little positive, toxic, keep him interested, I don't want my man to get bored games, a lot of people can see through that as insecurity. All right. Women, y'all like to get out here and tell these exaggerated stories about how these men are just treating you so wonderfully, and nobody ever dogs you out, and they buy you this and they buy you that. And listen, you might be fooling some people, but those of us with discernment can see right through that crap. We can see right through it. And all you're doing by constantly lying is prolonging your journey in life. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you're going to talk to. More importantly, you never know who is going to be talking about you. It's a small world. People run into each other all the time. Your name come up in conversations, and two different people have two different versions of you. Okay, and now, listen, if you talk to somebody from 10 years ago and somebody from today, yes, they're probably going to have two different versions of me. Yes, because I'm not the same person that I was 10 years ago. Okay? But two people from right now that are actively currently in my life right now should not have two different versions of me. Okay? There should be a pretty consistent understanding, reputation about who I am, right? Some of y'all out here living double lives, okay? Because in front of the church folk and in front of mama and daddy and them, you want to be sweet and demure and virginal and all this other stuff. But when you go out in the streets, you want to be acting up. But see, here's what y'all don't realize. When you go out in the streets acting up, twerking, showing your panties and everything else, you cannot take this thug this gangster, this whatever he was when you found him in the street, you're not going to force him to clean himself up so you can bring him to church in front of mama and daddy. You're not going to do that. You're not. That man's not going to change until he gets ready. But see, that's the problem. Y'all feel like, oh, I'm going to go find me a thug and I'm going to love him until he gets straight. That is some fairy tale BS. They took Beauty and the Beast and replaced the Beast with a drug dealer and made you feel like, oh, you're just so wonderful and your loving kindness will show through to him. And then y'all go out here and lie, talking about, oh, I'm just witnessing to them. Witnessing what, sis?
As long as he start going to church, well, they won. That's what they think.
What are you talking about? Niggas lie in church all the time.
No,
he don't go to church until he hit it. And see, that's another thing. They used to, I remember when I was younger, but I remember they used to tell women in the church, listen, just because he stepped up in church don't mean he ready to get married. And I'm gonna say that to some of y'all. Well, all of y'all listen to church, y'all listen to truth, whatever. Listen, just because the man claimed to have some knowledge of the Bible don't mean he's ready to be married, okay? This is first time at Passover feast and you ready to jump on the man. Y'all can't do that. You don't even give these men a chance to grow and develop into who they are, what kind of leader they want to become. Listen, just because I can recite a couple of Bible verses to you does not mean that you are going to agree with the way that I apply these verses, right? My observation of the Sabbath, it looks totally different from my neighbors. We're on the lunar. My neighbor may be on Friday, Saturday. My neighbor may leave their oven on. I may use my microwave. My neighbor might only eat cereal. Like, we can agree on, yes, we should keep the law, but it's how we agree to keep the law that affects our everyday lives. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of y'all don't inspect how these niggas keep the law, right? Because a lot of these niggas sit here and say, well, if there's nothing written about it, then it doesn't count. And guess what? That means your feelings do not count, okay? I cannot tell you how many times I've heard Negroes say this, like, oh, well, your feelings don't matter, in reference to their wife. In reference to their wife. Okay, so you got to understand what kind of nigga you dealing with here. Do your feelings matter to him? Or is he going to look at you and be like, oh, well, it's not in the Bible, so I don't have to do it? You talking about, sir, can I get some flowers? Can I go on a vacation? Like, can you rub my feet? It's not in the Bible. I don't have to. I know y'all think I'm exaggerating. Yeah, exactly. Show me in the law where I got to rub your feet, where I got to pay for your hair to get done, where I got to send you to get your nails done. Like, y'all don't understand. The law saying got to help you cook. Y'all do not understand the things that go on, unfortunately, until it's too late for some of y'all. And then you sitting up here in the marriage trying to figure out how you can get out and not be in sin.
Truth be told, 100% said a lot of these niggas is using the Bible to pray anyway, man. That's what they doing. And he don't mean to bow your head and pray. He talking about to pray on.
Prey.
Pray on these sisters, man. And our sisters just keep falling for it, bro. Just, it's bad, man. Like I said, we see the same thing in the truth that we seen in the church, man.
Yeah.
And so sisters just be from one to another, even with my fringes on, gun up.
Yeah. It's sad because then you're caught up in this situation and your intent may have been to live well, but wives, sisters, single women, let me tell y'all something. The wrong husband will strain your relationship with God. The wrong husband will strain your relationship with God. Just like a bad wife will do the same thing to a man. Would you not say that? Okay. A bad it will make you have a hard time because you'll be like, God, I can't believe you signed me up to go through this. When the fact of the matter is he didn't. Some of y'all be standing there and the preacher say what God has put together and he didn't put y'all together, boo. He didn't put y'all together. You chose that. And that's another problem. We won't take that responsibility and realize you chose that. But what I'm saying is that thinking that, oh, why did God put me in this marriage? that thinking will put a strain on your relationship with the Most High. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not saying that me and this man don't ever have differences or whatever the case may be. 99.99% of the time, I'm thanking the Most High for my husband. I'm very thankful, and that makes. What do you mean? We have a great relationship. Like, yes, I love my husband. But the Lord is providing. Things are great. Yes, it's great. Okay. But I can't imagine if 99.99% of the time my testimony was the opposite. You know, I don't know how I would how that would affect my relationship with the Most High. It would put a strain on it. It really would. And I can speak to the fact that there are women whose husbands are in the truth and they themselves refuse to consider themselves in the truth. They refuse to observe any high holy days. They refuse to respect their husband. Like, it's real and it happens. Okay. So don't feel like my point to that was, don't feel like you're gonna go out here and get something of the world, okay, and sanctify it and bring it back in. Now, I'm not talking about those of you who are already married and one's a believer, one's not a believer. The Bible speaks on how to handle that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those of you who are out here still making decisions. Okay. And even the brothers, I mean, I don't know, you know, if my husband want to jump in on this, he can, but y'all pay attention to the signs that these women are throwing out. Like, we're really not that complicated. I can tell you right now, we're really not that complicated. You be upfront. I feel like sometimes men do the same things that women do. Like, a woman will find a man that she decides that she wants him. And so she decides that she's going to do whatever it takes to change him. And she's going to make him into this. And, you know, she'll ignore certain things. She'll make excuses for him. She will do all of this stuff to fool herself into thinking that this man is who she wants and or needs him to be. Do men do this too?
I
I
would
mean, you
say
probably don't know
I would say
that life.
yeah, it's probably you gotta ask a lesser man that question. I don't mean it that kind of way, but like I said, I feel like it is a man's job to make a woman what he wants her to be. I don't think the woman has that power to do that to a man. You know what I'm saying? It's a man as the leader. He is to mold and you know, build that sister up to where he needed to be at. You know what I'm saying? So,
but at what part of the dating process do you decide that this is someone you can do that with? Because you can't do that with every woman. Every woman just not gonna go for it.
I feel that you know, like how we teach our children, we teach our kid, man. Listen, the no-goes, you know what I'm saying? At no-goes, I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, I know we talk about this all the time because in a man, let's say, if a sister meet a brother and she in the truth, he ain't in the truth, and it's like,
I would
leave
just
him
walk
alone.
away.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
would walk away.
But I ain't gonna lie, like as a dude, like if a brother, I mean, of course I'm married, but if I was in the truth and met a sister, she wasn't in the truth, I'm just gonna bring her in the truth. Like this, you know. So it's kind of hard to really compare them because it is, you know, it's two different roles, it's two different authorities, and you know, if you walk like that, there's some folks who just don't. Some men don't have the testicular fortitude, you know what I'm saying?
Testicular
To do such things. And also, Truth Be Told Flex Podcast is trying to get blocked from our channel.
What? You don't want to text? What he talking about? Like a bucket cowboy hat or like a cap?
Me and my son was discussing this the other day when we was in Lids, bro. Like, I'm ATL, bro, and I have never, ever, ever.
Oh, he's trying to bring you a cat. Oh, good luck with that, bro.
Hat. Like, I can't.
Good luck with that.
I ain't never wore no other hat in life, bro.
I can't even get this man in a Yankee fitted.
Heck no.
See?
Chicago Bulls fitting, them things be clean sometimes, but can't do it, man. I got plenty of A hats though. You can give me a Texas color A hat.
Anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So, like we were saying, well, like I was saying, like, look, if you in the truth and he not, I would leave because you can't change him. Like, you cannot change him. And I'm not saying men can't change. And I'm not saying that you can't be the reason that he changes, but you need to make sure that he's firmly established in those changes. Okay, like we was talking about the men that just come into the church or men just coming into the truth. He hasn't even had a chance to decide his leadership. Like, he hasn't even had a chance to decide, like, is this a man I even want to sit under? Is this somebody that I can listen to? You know, what elders is he going to for advice? You got to give that man a chance to establish his belief system in the church or in the truth or wherever. You have to give him time to establish that before he can lead you anywhere. I mean, because where is he going to take you without any rules, guidelines, systems? He ain't got no vision. He just, nothing against men that get up every day and go to work. A man should definitely get up every day and go to work. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. But does he have a vision for the future? Does he have a plan that he can lay out to you and say, okay, boo, you know, this is what I want to do in 2 years, 5 years, 10, blah, blah, blah. This is where I want to go. Y'all won't even give a nigga a chance to do that. As soon as his feet hit the floor, as soon as he opened the door, y'all just want to jump on him. You let him serve for a little bit. Let other people get to know him. Let some of the elders get to know him. Let somebody be able to come and tell you something before you jump on it. I had posted this post and it went something like, when there's nobody there to wake you up and when there's nobody there to keep you warm at night and there's nobody there to wake you up in the morning, would you call it freedom or would you call it loneliness? And that's something we need to think about, for real, especially if he got a baby mama, especially if he has multiple baby mothers. Okay. And hear what I'm saying. All right. I'm not saying that just because a man got multiple baby moms that he's doomed or anything like that. Now for my daughters, because they are young, like they're in their teens and 20s. So I tell them, no baby mamas. Like, no, you find your husband and y'all have y'all kids and y'all be y'all family. But for some of us who are older, or you know, you dating a man with kids or whatever, yes. Like I said earlier, how does he treat her in relation to them kids? How does he treat her? Okay, how does he treat her? And I'm gonna tell you something. If you're uncomfortable with it one way or the other, then just leave. Just leave. If you feel like he still got feelings for her and they might still be messing around, leave. If you don't like the way he treat her and you feel like he treat her bad, leave.
And when she's saying leave, I just want everybody to understand, she's talking about during the dating phase.
Yes, that's what we're talking about, dating. No, because you should have checked all this out before you married him. But and the reason I'm saying leave is because those people, them two people, have a long, complicated history that was there before they even knew you existed. Okay. So if you're not comfortable with what's going on, you're never going to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable while you're dating, getting married is not going to make it any better, and it may actually make it worse. So no, y'all need to check that out. And that's another thing that falls under you're not that special, because guess what? If he's treating the woman who gave birth to his kids like crap, who are you? Who are you? It's all fun and games when the relationship is new, like on Basketball Wives, right? There's a girl there who has kids with this guy. They were together for like 8 years. They have 2 or 3 kids together. There's another girl on the same show who's been dating the same dude for like 3 months now. And of course, the girl who was with him is hers, like 8 years in the game. They got kids together. They had a family. And the new girl is just so feeling herself. She's like, well, it didn't work out with them because he wasn't happy with her, but we don't have those problems. We're happy over here. Baby, them's like the words of doom. Those are like, put a casket on it, it's dead. That bragging and boasting, and because you don't know, you're talking about 8 years. Them people was together for 8 years. You have no idea what happened over your 3 months. All right, so don't ever, you're not so special that he's going to treat you at a basic level. You're not so special that he's going to treat you better than the woman who birthed his children. If y'all should get married, if you should have his children. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Was you going to say something? No. Okay. Commercial. Mm-hmm. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications.
Like,
That's
subscribe to Monologue My God on YouTube. If you're on the channel, please exit out of your comments and go and thumb up the video. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. Share the video. There are many of sisters who need this good teaching and understanding. They need it. We need to make this show go viral, not because it's my lovely wife, but I think we need more of this content circulating that hold women accountable, that make them look at themselves, to make them know we got too much bad advice going out to the sisters, just like that first video you played. Like, this bad advice. It's too much bad advice getting circulated in the ears and the eyes of the women. It's just causing them to just circle the drain, bro. Like, it's dumpster juice out here, bro.
Dumpster.
So, like, we need to spread this. We need to spread this. People who be tuned into the show, if you see some clips that you think is very powerful, man, send them to us, man.
Yes.
We need your help.
I have such a hard time picking out clips, y'all. I do.
For sure. And, the House of Mono, man, right there. The cash out right there. If you don't want to help, man, you can just send a little donation, man. We can just hire somebody, man.
Yes, that would
just
be
make
great.
us some clips and some commercials and things of that nature. But all praises to the Most High.
And shout out to my audience on the Saya TV. Stay on the TV, pick up your phone, go to YouTube, give me a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. So yeah, man, that's just what I wanted to talk to y'all about, and I wanted to tell y'all, don't get discouraged. I know it can be hard to be a righteous woman. Okay, it's hard out here trying to live right. It is hard, especially when the majority of us are not. And so, unfortunately, we get stereotyped with the majority of women. Big Guy 316, Shalom and Shalom. Thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, we get stereotyped with the majority of women. And it's so hurtful to me when I'm trying to listen to a teaching or something, and they start going on the women, they were wicked Eve and Eve this and Eve that, and y'all so wicked and y'all so evil and da 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 this and da 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 that. And it hurt me to my heart, because it's like, wait a minute, I'm not like that. But then I have to realize it's so many of us out here that are, and some of them need to hear this. It pierces my conscience. You know what I'm saying? And so I hope it's piercing some of yours. But it's hard because and here's what I'm saying. Here's the thing, rightfully so. Women aren't really highlighted in Israel unless we're doing it ourselves. And I say rightfully so because I'm just gonna say this, a lot of my sisters are out here without any covering, just saying things, taking pictures, losing their way. And so this is why I can say rightfully so, women are elevated. We see what happened in the church. I'm just gonna say it. We see what happened in the church with the rise of female evangelism. Now you got female pastors, female bishops, female apostles. You got women out here feeling like they just as big and bad as the men. They can do what the men do. They can preach and teach, and they can run men. And I mean, it's horrendous. And that's another reason why I can say rightfully so. But it is hurtful. Okay, it is hurtful, and it is hard to try to be righteous. But I want to encourage you, like, if that's the way you go, and stay at it. Okay. And here's another thing for me to stress. This is why I said you're not gonna matter outside your house. You're not going to matter outside of your home. But that's not a bad thing. Hear me. That's not a bad thing, okay? Because if my life experience has taught me anything, is that most attention is bad attention. As a woman, most attention is bad attention. Y'all not gonna agree with it. What you mean by that? You just saying that because you married? No, pimp. I learned this when I was single. Listen to what I'm saying. I learned it when I was single. Okay. It's just as a woman, again, like you're the weaker vessel. You are prey out here among the predators. Okay, you're Giselle surrounded by lions, but and you got blinders on. Okay, you're too stupid to realize that most of these lions want to eat you. Sure, it might be one that might want to mate with you, but the rest of them want to eat you and leave you for dead. Am I lying?
Good. Shout out to big guy. I don't know how to say your name, man. First time catching the live, checking in from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hey, make sure you subscribe to the channel, King. Pray indeed. Banath Shah Ahaya.
Shalom and shalom. But yeah, you're Giselle out in and it's like Malcolm said about the snakes, right? If you tell me it's like 3 or 4 good snakes in a batch of 1,000, am I gonna stick around and go through the 1,000 to figure out which ones are good? No, I'm gonna just leave the snakes alone altogether. Okay. So what I'm saying is, stop.
Was that Malcolm that said that? That was Muhammad Ali, I think.
No, that was Malcolm that said that. The thing about the snake.
I think that was Muhammad Ali said that. That was Muhammad Ali. That was Muhammad Ali for sure.
If one of y'all,
that was Muhammad Ali.
He was like, it and put it in.
He was like, man, I'm supposed to look to see which one of the good snakes. Nah, yeah, that was Muhammad Ali.
You sure he wasn't quoting Malcolm?
He could have been quoting Malcolm, but I know Muhammad Ali.
One of y'all let us know if you you know what quote I'm talking about.
When he was talking about the Viet Cong, when he was talking about going to war with the Vietnamese, and he was like, man,
I'm gonna go over there and shoot them. They ain't never called me a nigga.
Right? Yeah, that's what he said.
Really?
Yeah, that was Malcolm X. I mean,
that was Malcolm X.
No, that was Muhammad. That was Muhammad Ali, man.
Okay, I don't know, but so yeah, like. I think a lot of women enjoy being preyed, though. They feel validated. And so I can't disagree with this statement because of the way y'all be posting them pictures online. I can't disagree with it. Clearly you like it, okay? You're not gonna tell me. There was a article about Ari Fletcher. I don't know if y'all know who Ari Fletcher is, but she's like, I don't know what she even does. She's an influencer, young black influencer, but needless to say, she's always naked online. And somebody comments on one of her pictures, your boyfriend ain't never gonna marry you if you always naked online. So then she responded back, oh, we've been married for 2 years. No marriage certificate, no wedding pictures, no proof, but all of a sudden you've been married for 2 years. No, ma'am, sis cousin, you can't have it both ways. You want to pose naked, right? You want men to look at you. You want all this attention, but then you still want to be held as a lady. You still want to be put on a pedestal as a married. What am I trying to say? A woman to be married? Like,
it's like that meme. I don't know if y'all see this meme, but it's like a chick in her 20s You know what I'm saying? She bad. You know what I'm saying? Got a shape, no kids, sang out here, and like dudes trying to holler at her. And no, I'm living my life. I'm out here going going crazy. Then they say, well, she come back in her 30s, dragging a bunch of kids. She overweight, and now it's like, okay, I'm ready now. And like this comment said, a lot of women enjoy being preyed on. They enjoy being preyed. Like, it's crazy. Like they enjoy the chase. They enjoy the validation. They enjoy like, ooh,
The
all eyes
attention.
on me, the attention, woo, until it comes time, until it's time to pay that tab, Shonda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you look at the Currys in the world, like when his wife was like, oh, she want the attention of all men. Like the whole goal in every woman's life, what they say in the beginning, you're trying to, like, you go out, you present yourself a certain way, you're making sure you're looking good, you're working out, all of this stuff is to get the goal, which is the husband, one who loves you and just gonna be with you, gonna treat you good, take care of y'all, that good stuff. Then you get the goal.
And you still want to run back in
now you want to go back and do it again?
Never satisfied. It's
the lust of the flesh, man.
It's like I was saying earlier, you're constantly looking outward for something else. For what? For what? It's like my husband said, lust of the flesh. The flesh is never satisfied. You give it a little and it's gonna want more. How come all of how come all the single acting like they got the best advice? I have never understood that. And what's most importantly is I don't understand why other people are listening to them. That's like me looking to a homeless person for advice on how to be a millionaire. That's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The power of social media, man. Whoever looked the best and got the best body is the one whose advice you should be taking.
And it makes no sense.
Even though the body is bought most of the time, even though all of that stuff, it don't matter. Whoever looked the best, got the best body, their advice is top tier.
But it's like, I think a lot of times what it is the bitterness and the anger that they speak out of. That is what resonates with other single women, and that's how they get the bandwagon.
I don't even think it's that. I just honestly think it's the most popular. It's the most popular advice. Like, this is the advice that everybody got.
Your ear.
This everybody got. This is it's what's the scripture that says, like, they call evil good and good evil, or it's like there's an old saying, it's like the lie is like, it's what you just said, it tickles your ear. But no, shot. Yeah, by the way, it was Muhammad Ali. But it's like this has took over the actual truth. The lie, the bad advice has took over the actual truth. So now it's, yes, girl, live it up. Go on and sleep with as many people as you want to. No, yes, girl, spread that coochie around. Be part of the share program. All of this stuff, get it in. Be a man. Think like a man. What is it?
Think like a man, act like a lady, think like a man.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, that advice is easier to follow than the advice on how to build and maintain a healthy relationship. It's very easy to tell women, like, oh, well, if you don't get exactly everything you want from him, then you should walk away, as opposed to sitting down with a woman and saying, now let's examine exactly what it is that you think that you want. All right. Are you living a life that fits into this mold? Like, are you out here being a hoe, but you say you want to be a wife? You understand what I'm saying? It's easier to give advice on how to be toxic, on how to be horrible, on how to continue being bitter and dangerous than it is for like me to sit here and say like, no, y'all, we got to do better. You know, this is not going to work, blah, 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 blah.
It's like I said, what's popular is now changed. It's changed the minds of our people, and the only way, like if the Most High tarries, our children's generation will have a chance. They will have a. I'm saying us in the truth. Our children could change this because they'll be going back to like what great grandparents was on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like our kids are think different now. Like our women now are thinking like, stay home with the kids. What, man? Please put these kids in daycare. Well, our women, even if the man is, they got $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
They still think,
I gotta go get my
what?
own. I gotta
go,
my own.
I gotta go get a job. No, put these kids in daycare. Let them learn. God knows what. I just saw a man went to pick up his child from daycare, and he walks in, and his son got on a little Cinderella dress, and he walk in, and I ain't gonna lie to you, this man kept his composure real good.
Yeah, because
Truth be told, Flex Podcast, y'all definitely should cover this story. I'm gonna send it to y'all. But he kept his composure so good, he was like, y'all, don't you ever take that off. And he told the teachers, don't you ever.
my child wouldn't be back.
But the problem is, though, it ain't really even the teacher's fault because today's society says, no, you let the kids choose.
Yeah.
Maybe you is a little girl, Johnny.
Yeah.
You might be. So, so it's like today's, I mean, the mindset of our people is just so jacked up now that it's hard to change their mind back to what it once was. You kind of gotta just change the little kids.
Dang, and that's the older generation dying off. That's exactly what that is. And it's horrible. Like I hate to hear that. And also that's just the reason I'm not sending my kids to school because they do encourage that. They're told to encourage it. Like they're told that they could, be subject to lawsuits, discrimination, all this other stuff if they don't go along with the gender agenda set forth by the alphabet community. They're told like, no, you have to do this, and you can't tell the parents, you have to respect this child. It's literally set up for them to go that way. And so I've seen a lot of the reasons why to not have a wife at home. When men love to talk about, oh, well, this economy won't allow for that and blah, 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 blah. And the truth of the matter is, like, if you want to make something happen, you'll find a way to make it happen.
But even if you don't, I think I have more of a problem with the mindset more than the actual, because like you said, this economy is jacked up. Like, all praise to the Most High. Sometimes because the Lord has blessed us, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not saying it's not jacked. I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not saying
it's hard out here, but our praise is that, but our people would rather. It's just like even people who, would have multiple wives. We would rather send everybody to work than to build something of our own that we could pass down to our children. It's like a mindset thing. It's kind of like how they say with our people, even if you give them money, like if you give them a check, it ain't gonna change nothing. They'll be broke again. Yeah, we'll be right back broke.
Because nobody want to look broke. Somebody told me this a long time ago. Nobody wants to look broke temporarily. You always got to be on. You always got to be flashy. You can't dare have the hood think you struggling or.
You better learn the power of staying y'all tail in the house.
Listen, it's so comfortable at home. especially especially when the bills are paid. Why do I need to go anywhere else and spend money?
Mess around, get a little cable, but
What? And I'm not
Wi-Fi
you don't even
bumping
need cable these days.
Wi-Fi bumping in the crib.
You know, I mean, and I'm not saying it's not hard. And I don't want you to think that we're oversimplifying it. Oh, because y'all married, y'all got each other. Baby, I enjoyed being alone when I was single. Like, I would go home on plenty of Friday night, curl up on my couch and watch TV and be good with that.
I ain't got that testimony.
I do. Because like I said, I learned that all attention ain't good attention and most of it is bad. And once you realize that, then a lot of the stuff that you think you're chasing, you'll realize that it's really just smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors. We're always chasing the things or the people that we think that we want, instead of being still and allowing the things and the people that we need to come to us. Right? And I know it's easy to get restless, and I know it's easy to get impatient with the Most High and be like, well, God taking too long, I'm gonna just do it my way. But I'm here to tell you that is never that solution never works. And more times than not, when you take that route, you actually wind up hurting yourself. In that course of action. So I'm not, trying to talk from a place of, oh, I don't remember. No, I remember. I remember I used to I tell y'all all the time, I take myself out to eat. I don't care. It is what it is. But we have to accept that. And so listen, like I was saying, I know it's hard to be righteous. Especially when you come from a culture and a society that teaches you to seek outside approval, right? To seek the applause of your peers, to seek just that status, the popularity, to chase after those things. We're taught to chase after those things. But once you come into the truth, it can be hard to make those changes, right? So I'm not saying like, oh, you should just blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, even when you face that temptation, just take a step back and look how far the Most High has brought you from. Think about the situations, for those of y'all who have these testimonies. Think about the situations that you've come out of. Think about some of those bad prior relationships that you had got yourself stuck into and how hard it was for you to get out. You know, that one nigga that you couldn't get off your mind, no matter how hard you tried. The phone ring, you couldn't help but answer it. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But until you're willing to be honest with yourself, oh. Why you ask that question?
Hey, man. This is a very tricky question. So we have a question, says, Mono, how much money a brother need to go out on a date?
You talking about a first date? What date is it? It matters. It matters.
First date. I would say.
First date.
I would say. I ain't gonna lie, man. It just depends on the type of woman that you dating, and it depends on what you own. Real talk. I think a good time is just a good time. I ain't gonna lie. When I took this woman on the first date, it was the most expensive date I've ever had in my life. Okay. But I also would say,
I really find that hard to believe.
Nigga, no, I don't know why. I didn't even date. We smashing. So like
horrendous.
But I would say, man, it just depends on where you are in life. It's a whole different question now, because as a brother in the truth, and you knowing what you own, and you know what I'm saying, what time it is, and what you looking for in a sister, you ain't just trying to impress. You ain't just trying to go and smash and dash. You ain't just so, man, when you're dating for a purpose, I can't say that there's no a dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me this outside of the truth, I'm gonna tell you a whole different answer. But because where we at now, the answer is different. Because it's like, no, you and this sister, y'all really want to talk. You're really courting. So it's like, no, you can enjoy a nice little Olive Garden meal, or you know what I'm saying?
And man, Olive Garden be slapping.
Facts, you know
Freaking
what I'm saying?
breadsticks and salad. What?
Yeah, man. You could, hey man, you could go get them 2 for $20 appetizers at Applebee's, man. Have a couple of Long Islands, and you know what I'm saying? Margaritas and
I just made that face sound like Applebee's, but I will go to Fridays.
I can't stand Fridays.
I love Fridays.
It's the worst. Every time we go, we say we're never going again.
You know what? I don't know what
It's Applebee's, man.
Fridays
Applebee's is the
fell off.
one, man.
I don't know what happened.
So it's a different answer, Jacob Wake Up. Cause if you ask me this, like in the world, like I'm gonna tell you, total different. Like, shoot, we don't hit the club. We out here with the woo. Shoot, you buying bottles. We getting 10 shots. So, you know what I'm saying? 10 shots. You know what I'm saying? Section. Like, we did all this on our first date. Okay?
Oh, well, it started in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And then we went out later.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, it's a different answer, bro. Like, yeah, coffee, tea. Like,
yeah,
because you're with a purpose. You ain't just trying to get some.
Yeah.
You ain't just trying to, you know. So it's different, man. Ain't no
500. I don't even think you need to spend 100. Look, find out something that she likes to do. Like I like activities. So you know what I'm saying? If y'all, I'm assuming y'all talked on the phone or whatever, conversation's going good, you feeling like you want to take her out, go bowling. That's fun. I like stuff like that. We went to Dave and Buster's on one of our dates because I like to play video games.
$100 could be sufficient, man. It's just
a museum. Museums are nice. I love museums.
I would never.
It's about her
it just depends,
and what she likes.
It depends on what you own, man. Like I said, it's the answer. The 500 is I'll tell you right now, if you're spending 500 on the first date, I just think the intentions is wrong.
Yeah, you do
on both sides. If she requires this, the intentions is wrong. And if this what you doing, then the intentions is wrong. Yeah. This is just like, bro, let's.
But the thing is, $100 is not hard to spend $100 these days. Yeah, so to say no to 100 is kind of like, you know, you gotta think like 100 is like the old 50. So
50, man, shoot, man, take the Golden Corral, man. Get that buffet. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, she like buffets.
No, but
I would like Bernard said, I would do something fun. Something where you can talk, get to know each other. Like competitive games bring out a person's personality. You get to see how they act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you gotta let her win, though.
No, you don't.
I was letting you win when we were going on dates and ice hockey and air hockey and Pac-Man.
I beat you in Pac-Man since we've been married.
Baby, because I'm a good husband. I'm just
so for 10 years you've been letting me beat you in Pac-Man?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Come on, man. It's a gentleman over here.
Get out of here.
The gentleman over here, man.
Sorry, nobody believes you. Not for no 10 years. You ain't been letting me win for 10 years.
I definitely beat you the last time we went out. When we
you
went,
didn't.
When we went to that place
at the arcade
downtown Atlanta.
Yes,
nigga, I smashed you. No, you are tripping. You almost quit.
Boy, that is not true.
Well, her memory is
horrible. Okay. See, y'all gonna make us play Pac-Man on live so I can show y'all how this man is mistaken.
But I just say, man, listen, because of the intentions these days, man, just a nice, good date. No, you don't want to take her to Golden Corral. Definitely, you don't want to do that. But like I say, all these chicks talking about not Applebee's, not cheesecake. Man, please, man, what? Good. You can go, man.
Y'all can go walk around. You know what I love? I love walking around the mall and eating snacks like cinnamon, pretzels. Like I like doing stuff like that.
Then they go on a bag, a shirt.
No, we just walking around.
Don't take it to a place with a whole bunch of stores. Then you got to choose from all these stores.
Where you want them to take a Greenbrier? There ain't nothing in Greenbrier. All you gonna get is a 10-piece lemon pepper.
Take it to a nice walk in the park, man. Get an ice cream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? It's kind of cold outside.
Yeah, but that way she got to goddamn, you got to grab her by that arm, you know what I'm saying? She got to cuddle up and get a little warm.
Ain't nobody trying to walk in the cold. Take her someplace indoors. Starbucks is wonderful.
Our first date was cold. And when I grabbed you up and put you in my arm, you was like, ooh.
Into the restaurant. We wasn't walking around no park.
You'd have liked it anyway.
Anyway. But nah, something nice and sweet where y'all can talk. That'll be good. Oh, and Benata made another comment up there about women getting to learn to like themselves. Hello, top tier, like A1. You have to learn how to like yourself. And listen, getting a man does not absolve that part. Getting a man, having a man, being married, having children does not absolve that part. If anything, it makes you push harder and dig harder into who you are. So no, you definitely need to have your foundation with yourself before you go trying to add anybody else. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me this weekend. Tonight. Tonight, it appears the time has gotten away from me a little bit, but I have to thank my special guest, Monologue Gab, for coming to hang out with me.
We thank you all for all of your great input. Jacob, wake up. Don't spend $500 on no ticket.
Don't spend $500. But let us know how it goes, Jacob. I want to know how it goes and like what y'all doing and stuff. I'm interested.
Everyone, please subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications.
Monologue, my God.
Go live here.
Regardless of where you at, if you're on Facebook or if you're on Miss Mono or YouTube, hey, everybody go follow Monologue, my God. YouTube, subscribe. We got some big announcements coming, man.
F3 Part 2.
Oh, yeah, we got that coming too, man. But, man, we're about to mess around and start a church, man. But, y'all make sure y'all give, man, to the House of Mono if you feel led on your heart, man. And y'all tune in next Thursday, man, at 8 o'clock. And start tuning in, man. We just gonna be randomly popping up, man.
Yeah, we're gonna start providing y'all with more content. We've been talking about it, and we both recognize the need for righteous content. So we are working on some things and trying to free up some time. I ain't gonna lie, I could use a couple of extra hands. I need some extra arms and legs, and then but we're working on it. Get more content out there for you, live content and short form video content.
Love y'all, man.
We love you so much. Shalom and shalom. We will see you next time. Mono.
Living super clean. That it came
One time for my king doing king things. All these hoes cause he know he got a good thing.
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue My God. Now also available on the site.